People walk into my office completely shattered. They come to me with tears streaming down their faces, hands trembling, looking like someone just ripped their entire world apart. And you know what they tell me? They say they've had this thing called a spiritual awakening. They thought it would be beautiful, peaceful, maybe even blissful. Instead, they feel like they're dying inside. Everything I knew is gone, they whisper. My marriage doesn't make sense anymore. My job feels like a cruel joke. The dreams I chased for decades just vanished into thin air. Even worse, when I look in the mirror, I don't recognize the person staring back at me. I thought waking up spiritually would make me whole, make me better, make me complete. But instead, I'm crumbling. I'm breaking into a million pieces. I feel more lost now than I ever did before. And I sit there across from them and I don't tell them they're wrong. I don't say they're confused or misunderstanding something, because what they're experiencing is brutally real. Waking up spiritually absolutely does feel like everything you ever knew is being ripped away from you. But here's the wild truth that most people can't see when they're in the middle of this storm. It feels like you're losing everything because you actually are losing everything. But stay with me here, because what you're losing isn't real. You're losing everything fake, everything borrowed, everything that was never actually yours from the very beginning. Think about it like this. Imagine you're watching a movie and you get completely sucked into it. You forget you're sitting in a theater. You start identifying with the main characters so deeply that when danger comes for them, your heart pounds in your chest. When they get hurt, you feel pain. When they win, you feel victorious. The story becomes your story. Their emotions become your emotions. You're living it. Now, what happens when someone taps you on the shoulder and reminds you it's just a movie? That the character isn't real? That none of it is actually happening to anyone? There's this bizarre moment of confusion, right? A weird sense of loss. Because all that emotional investment you poured into the story, all that intensity and reality you felt, suddenly becomes ridiculous. And yet, nothing real was actually lost. Nobody really died. Nobody really suffered. It was always just light flickering on a screen. This is what spiritual awakening shows you. The story of your life, the character you call yourself, it's just like that movie. So when you feel like your whole world is crashing down during your awakening, please understand what's really happening. What you're actually losing is your suffering. What you're losing is the crushing burden of being a separate self that's constantly struggling to survive, compete, and succeed. What you're losing is the prison cell of your own thoughts about who you should be and what your life should look like.